I want to be the Minister of Education.
I want to become an engineer,
an ambassador,
a doctor,
scientist.
I want to be a teacher.
To educate a girl is very important. There is a common saying, if you educate a boy, you educate an individual. But if you educate a girl, you educate a nation.
I want to become a lawyer,
an artist,
journalist,
pilot, and accountant.
I want to be a bank manager.
South Sudan is the world's youngest country. Despite its optimism, the country has faced huge challenges.
Historically, South Sudan is one of the highest in terms of illiteracy, and even within that percentage of children accessing education, girls remain very low, and this is a national issue which needs to be addressed.
It is good actually to send girls to school because not boys can change the country, but girls also can help a lot. Because a woman can have that great love for her country, and she can do something best in order to see that the country is moving forward.
Girls Education South Sudan, GESS, is a 5-year, £60 million program that aims to bridge the education gap between girls and boys on a scale that is transforming education for a whole generation. Poverty, both at home and in the classroom, combined with negative attitudes to education, create enormous obstacles for girls and boys in South Sudan, who often struggle to complete their schooling. The program has set out to bring about sea change in attitudes towards education, particularly that of girls, and to empower communities to own and improve their schools.
So every school in every corner of South Sudan is receiving the support that we're providing as Girls Education South Sudan. We also have county level staff who are dealing directly with the schools, and they themselves are from those communities. So they're well known, they're trusted. So I think that's an understanding that I think places us in a good position with the community. So we have gained a lot of trust.
Since GESS started in 2013, the country has faced economic troubles and conflict that has left 20% of the population displaced. Despite this, the program has achieved huge success. So how have they done it?
We've done an initial assessment of what the barriers of girls' education are. 3 of the key barriers that we find are poverty, negative social and cultural attitudes towards girls' education, as well as quality of education in the schools.
GESS provides girls and their families with payments known as cash transfers, intended to remove the cost of sending girls to school.
Talk to any girls who benefits, not only within the city of Juba, but go down to the rural area and see how the cash has transformed education in the Republic of South Sudan.
Tabisa goes to school in Bor, north of the capital.
My favorite subject is science. I want to be a doctor in the future.
She receives support from GESS in the form of a cash transfer, which she collects at school.
I use the money to buy my school uniform, my school shoes, also my school books and pens.
For many families, this little bit of money makes all the difference. Every morning, the GESS schools across South Sudan take a register.
Schools use the phone to send the SMSs, which are free of course. On daily basis, they send who is absent and present in every school.
This information is used to give the cash payments, but also to keep track of absences, which can be the first sign that a girl is struggling to stay in school.
If a girl has not come in school for 1 week, we do a follow-up on why the girl is not coming.
This is called the South Sudan Schools Attendance Monitoring System and has allowed the program to adapt to the challenges of the conflict.
Schools have been completely closed down and people have been displaced. We are missing maybe around 30,000 girls altogether this year because they've been displaced to other places. We are making efforts to trace these girls through their cash enrollment transfer form. So wherever, if they have re-registered elsewhere in the country or even in some of the refugee camps, we will find them and we'll continue to support them where possible.
While girls register for school in high numbers, they also drop out for many reasons. Sometimes it is simply that they are needed at home.
يعني أنا بقوم صباح وبقوم متأخر وبكون في شغل كتير في بيت يعني بخليني ذات ما بقدر أجي المدرسة أنا بكون داير أكمل شغلات اللي في البيت أول وبكون داير أجي يعني أنا بفضل ذات وأقعد في البيت وما أجي.
GESS also aims to address the cultural attitudes which stand in the way of girls' education. One of the ways this is done is through radio programs in local languages, challenging traditional ideas and shifting attitudes to education. Jacob is a community mobilizer. He works to make sure that the programs make a difference on a local level.
Listening club are a group of the people. We have a topic that we discuss with the community. For example, budgeting for education. How do the parents budget for education of their girl? After we have discussed, the community will be able to come up with the action plan. And we have changed the number of girls increase in the school due to community mobilization because the parents were able to mobilize the children and bring them to school. So because they have understood the importance of education.
Men and women like Jacob work for GESS in almost every county using visual material, radio programs and other activities to help change negative attitudes to girls' education.
Parents see their daughters as a sort of source of wealth because of the bride price that is paid to them. That for me is a short-sighted attitude because the daughter, once she's educated, she will find a job and she will work and she will continue to give much longer than the cows that are given as bride price. So a lot of what we do is to talk to the communities, to parents about how to basically change the behavior and how important girls education as well as boys education is.
Cái lốm xin ye ni cái lốm xin na de cái piu che barat riat pin ba akor ka ku be man to cái piu che man da na te na man kin lo school yon wo ko le mi che ka de ka ti cha ka tao school
Anh long từ tin đến chân rin cái men đây nhỉ ala ku chak ba ja la thui ra la cái rin cái men đây ai cái nhỉ ai cái bel cher man de man wa re na treo cái school cha cái treo cái quan cái chú cái nhỉ ai chan với men tu begar.
When communities value education, they will sometimes go to great lengths to keep schools open and even open new ones.
A certain community at Tibet. So when we had a community mobilization with them, there was no school. They were displaced from Akwach. So when we met with them, they were moved. They opened a school called Kornbeck Primary School. They recorded the former name of the school that was in the village before they were displaced. And that school is now operating. That is the impact of community mobilization.
Now what? Cái coi bên bài thế này, cái coi là đủ. Cái school này bụng gọi là cái mi bài thế này. Cái school bị liêu tục.
GESS also provides funding directly to the schools. These are called Capitation Grants. This helps to improve the quality of the education available to both boys and girls. In St. Andrew's Primary School in Bor, they have used this funding to buy books, learning equipment, and build boys and girls toilets.
For the projects of this year, the grant that come this year, help us to construct this.
In Usratuna School in Juba, they have used the funding to help build a new library and are looking to improve other parts of the school.
Money can support the immediate needs, but there are far-reaching needs in the schools that we think should be supported. Something durable that's going to help even children of other generations.
Decisions about how these grants are spent are made by the school management committees. These committees consist of parents, teachers, elders, and senior students. At least 5 members must be female.
The teachers will not run the schools alone without the community.
school belongs to community, so they are part of it. So we train them how to budget for their priorities. We know the needs are great and we cannot meet all of them at the same time. When the money comes, it has to be managed by different people within the schools to make it functional. 2 or 3 people have to be signatories to this to really manage it for the whole school.
Improving the physical environment is vital. GESS also organizes inclusive school-based training for teachers as well as peer-to-peer mentoring.
We train the teachers to be able to make lesson interactive in class, to make lesson inclusive for all the learners, and to make teaching materials from the local available materials like these ones to make learning really attractive for the learners. That is basically what we are helping the teachers. Of course, making scheme of work and lesson plan to boost what they are doing in the class.
How to deal with people in the class, learning teaching aids, materials, how we're supposed to make it, how to supposed to control your class, control must be there, and even our school environment, and even relation between teacher and pupils also. This one I have training from the GESS.
Amazingly, GESS has managed to retain teachers even when economic challenges meant that they were not paying for some times.
For any quality of education to happen, you've got to have teacher in the classroom who can guide those children. And that is a great challenge we have in education sector. First of all, the enumeration for the teachers is very low, keeps them out of joining. Others go and even become bodyguards somewhere because they want to survive.
When the money runs out, only a project rooted in the community can survive.
The community can be mobilized to give them support, maybe food items and housing, which they can, within the school environment, that they can be accommodated in. That will be of help.
GESS also provides support to girls as they get that bit older and pressures to marry or work at home increase. This is where mentoring groups such as this can help. These girls' clubs provide an opportunity for girls to talk to one another about issues that affect their education.
These are the things that we should be doing. So what is going to happen today will be very important actually, because that is going to take our mind back on the issues that we discussed and the money that we received last time. We are going to discuss how this money can be used, what things should be bought with this money and what cannot be bought with it.
Another way the program has been successful is by working closely with its research teams.
Our research involves conducting focus group discussions with the community. We also do things like quantitative survey. This is done to evaluate the program. So basically we inform, monitor and evaluate the programs for BBC Media Action.
The research shows that the program is performing above expectations and is able to respond effectively to the fragile nature of the country. But there is always more to do.
What we have done is so far basically a drop in the ocean. There's still a lot of need out there. Impacting on learning outcomes requires a much longer period of time than 5 years, which the program is intended for.
And despite all the challenges, the people of this brave new nation are hopeful that they can build a strong future for the next generation.
With the hope that South Sudan goes back to peace, we will be able to see more girls going to schools, and this means that we are creating a viable, economic and capable nation. And that can also contribute not only to South Sudan as a nation, but to the rest of the world.
I want to be a road engineer simply because here in South Sudan our roads have not been constructed well. Our people are traveling to other countries to be operated. I want to be one of the surgeons to operate my people in our country.
The school gives me different activities and also promote the spirit of togetherness with different ethnic groups.
I want South Sudan to be a country where everyone is living in peace.
Women are peacemakers. For example, if girls are educated, which means our country will be a peaceful country.
I want to be a tourist and many business I want to do in my life.
If people get to know the meaning of education and the betterness of education, I think they can change this country. And through education, we can transform everyone's life.